Kensington and Clearfield. This is Kensington Ave. This is Clearfield Street. Big flood because the fire trucks had the hoses going. There was a fire. Not wearing the best footwear. Wearing slippers. We're going to have to walk around and figure out what's going on. Let's walk this way. All right, we got another fire truck down here on Clementine Street. What is that doing here? You got a fire hose in the middle of Clementine Street. Right here, this is an abandoned property that caught on fire. There's a lot of little property fires, or not little property fires. Abandoned properties. People camp out in them. And then there was an appliance store not too far from here at Kensington and Somerset. Bill's or Phil's? Which is it? Bill's Appliances or Phil's Appliances? And they closed. That store closed down a year or two ago. And then that building was taken over by people who were homeless and did drugs. And then after a while, you have somebody high on drugs, and then they start nodding out with a little campfire inside because there's no electricity in that building. So how they keep the buildings warm is they'll make a homemade fire. How am I going to get past this river of water? See, that's what I should have done. I should have bought the boots. And they're still putting out the fire. It's about 10:30 in the morning. This fire started an hour or two ago, and you could see the smoke all the way from I-95, which is about 2 miles from here. Big clouds of smoke. And about 2 years ago, this whole parking lot was a large encampment of people strung out on drugs, and then the city had to put this fence all around this parking lot. Look at the water rushing down Ruth Street. I'm looking for a place to jump. I think this is the only spot right here. I might be able to make this. Oh, this stinks. 1, 2, 3. Huh?
Deputy Commissioner Derek Bomer says it was before 7:30 this morning when firefighters rushed over to Clearfield Street near Ruth Street. Flames were tearing through this building.
It looks like an auto shop or so. I'm not sure what's in it. Looks like there's some cars and things inside of it, okay? Again, our fire marshals are on location. They're doing an investigation. We don't have a cause of the fire yet.
The thick black smoke poured out and could be seen miles away. Like so many others, we saw it on I-95 on the way here. Fire officials beefed up their response to 3 alarms.
51 apparatus and about 120 firefighters.
And it took them just under 2 hours to get the fire under control. No one was hurt. Nearby row homes were spared.
There's multiple fire trucks here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fire trucks at least. Yeah, last time I was down Ruth Street, we'll tell you, it was pretty, you have a lot of people doing stuff down on the street. You have people doing drugs, selling drugs and all that stuff. A lot of people hang out around here. But none of that's happening right now because the fuzz is here. Yeah. One of the things the mayor is doing while she cleans up Kensington is they're boarding up a lot of the abandoned properties to prevent fires from happening. Now, I don't know what caused this fire. Sometimes I'll cover fires in junkyards. We get a lot of junkyard fires. And it doesn't smell bad. It doesn't smell like a chemical-y fire. So that's good because there's a school right across the street. Cops are stopping traffic this way on Kensington Ave. I guess to protect the fire hoses from getting run over. So everybody's getting directed to turn off of Kensington Ave. A lot of bullshit happening behind me. People selling and taking drugs. This is McPherson Square. This is another one of those properties getting renovated here in Kensington Ave. If you go down from this block all the way down to Allegheny Avenue, the city is doing their best to keep people off of these 4 blocks. And there are over 5 properties getting renovated and fixed up. And I just don't know why. Like, what's coming here? Who sees the benefit of building anything here? I don't know. The fire didn't affect the L. The L's still running. Here we are. This is, I call it Ivan Putski Park. I think it's General Polanski Park. You know what this is also? Filming location for the turnaround. Unused footage, though. Right here, me and Stewie the One-Eyed Chihuahua, we sat on these rocks for about an hour in 38-degree weather. Boy, was I pissed. If you haven't noticed, at the beginning of the videos, I had like 30 seconds of like cinematic shots. I'm going to blame Kyle Thrash and Dave, the cinematographer from the turnaround. They really make the city look good. And when we were filming the movie, one thing they always said, by the way, you can see the movie only on Netflix. The one thing they said, they kept saying to me, oh, John, it's going to look beautiful. It's going to look beautiful. And man, it does. That movie does look good. This is just a park in Port Richmond. Right here is the Delaware River. This is Allegheny Avenue. Down there is Delaware Avenue. Kind of the last part of Philadelphia right here. You go over there, that's all that's New Jersey. If you go a few blocks in that direction, you'll see I-95. It's a major highway in the United States, gets you north to south. And for the last 2 or 3 years, there was a big homeless encampment in the park near the I-95 exit. And I was told that the city cleared out the people living there. So I'm going to go there and see if it was actually cleared out. And where did everybody go? What did we do to the people who were living here? Homelessness is an issue that I feel like the city doesn't address. What they do is just shoo people to other locations, which isn't solving anything. And if you have an empty park that's full of lead, that space that nobody's using, where did the homeless people go? Are they now in a neighborhood where people live? I don't know. Well, maybe we'll find out. So this is right there. Right there is I-95, and if you go down just a little bit, there's a ramp where you can exit 95. And about 3 years ago, this was like a dog park. Just this little space here, and they're doing renovations on I-95 pretty much from Girard Ave all the way to Cotman Ave. They've been doing construction for years, and it's going to be happening for the rest of our life. The 95 construction. And I'm thinking 3 years, there definitely were people like living in this field. The majority of the encampments were down maybe 30 yards from here. beyond what you can see. There was a lot of people living there. When I get off at 95, I usually get off at this exit. And I have noticed that I've been seeing a lot of homeless advocates, people who work for the city or, you know, organizations that help homeless people. They walk around with like bright vests, and I have noticed that I've seen them in this area a lot more, actually more than I've ever have, because I don't think I've ever seen them before. 95 South exit, that's how you get on 95 South. Uh-oh, here we go. Hello, friend. Yeah. So this park is actually in two parts. This is Moncavage Playground. And this playground was shut down in 2021. Don't be writing book reports. I might be off by a year or two. And so this park was shut down because they're doing construction on 95. And, oh man, there's a guy defecating right there. Oh no, he's injecting. So it looks like a lot of people have moved from that side of 95 to the abandoned playground. There's one, two, there's a few people over there. Homeless people got to exist somewhere. I just wish the city would actually address the issue instead of just shooing people away. Now, if you are homeless, the city does offer help. You got to call a phone number, and they'll get you. But the one thing is, I think you got to get sober, and that's a very tough thing to do. Is to get someone to want to be sober. You can't get somebody to want to be sober. They gotta want to do it themselves. This is Burnsy's Tavern. They have pretty good chicken wings. It's a good little neighborhood bar. Been around for 45 years. You got some stuff here. There was people doing fires. Uh-oh. Pothole patrol. And when I was a kid, we used to hang out back here. There should be nothing but like abandoned pipes. I completely forgot about that till I just saw this random pipe. When you're like 12 years old, an abandoned pipe yard is like is like paradise. Yeah, this is the first time in a long time that there isn't somebody at the bottom of this ramp begging for change. See, there, I think at the intersections of Port Richmond, Aramingo Avenue, actually right here where you get off, you have people begging for change here and there, like panhandling. I've been sitting here for a little bit. I don't see anybody in that park. I don't even see, I might be one tent right there, but it looks like it could be just a tarp. And yeah, I don't know if the people sleeping in the other field, in the old playground, I'm not sure if those were the people were there, but that were in this space, but it makes sense to me. I don't remember seeing that many people in the playground before. There are people in the playground occasionally, but usually they get shooed away, because that's how we solved this issue. I don't know. Welcome to Port Richmond. This is what I identify as a Port Richmonder. Philadelphia is a city of neighborhoods, and I lived in a lot of them. Port Richmond, Kensington, Bridesburg, Longcrest, Somerton. I've lived in Bridesburg the longest, but if you ask me where you're from, I'm going to tell you I'm from Port Richmond. This field was called Richmond Playground for a long time. Big softball tournaments. That's one of the cool things I've learned from doing these videos is people will comment and let me know about the history of these old playgrounds. And in the 60s, I believe, big softball tournaments were in here, and this was called Richmond Playground. It got renamed to Moncavage Playground. I'm not sure when, but I do know Reverend Moncavage, who the playground's named after, is the guy who started St. Adalbert's, the Polish parish of Port Richmond. He's the guy who started, and he also had some encampments back here, and they were kind of camouflaging it. They were trying to camouflage their tents with this bamboo fencing. And I was here, man, about a week ago, and I saw a cop go in here and like look around and stuff. So I guess they've been working on this area, like talking about cleaning it up for a while. I don't know what we're doing today. It's 12:21 p.m. Seasonal depression is kicking my ass this week. It's hard for me to function. So if you're having problems, just know you're not the only one. Whenever the weather dips, whenever you got to break out the hoodies, right? Whenever I got to put away the flip-flops, I get that's like, I just wanted to stay in bed today, right? So I'm forcing myself to get out because, one, it's my job. I have to entertain the masses, right? Got to go out and entertain the masses. And two, it's my job. You got to go to work. You can't take a day. Well, you can people do take days off. Most people don't work 7 days a week, but so anyway, it's windy. It's so windy today, and I hate making videos, scooter rides or bike. Look, see this guy, he can't ride his bike in the wind, and you see the leaves blowing. So I was trying to think about where I could go today. I know what gets views: Catholicism, and this is the National Shrine to St. John Neumann. There are 3 shrines. There might even be more. There are 3 that I know of. National shrines to saints in the city of Philadelphia. This one, St. John Neumann. John Neumann was the first Catholic bishop of Philadelphia, or he was the bishop of Philadelphia. I don't know about the first. There's a museum. Why am I going to see how windy it is? How can you scoot in this? This is unscootable weather. Also, St. John Neumann's body, he is an uncorruptible saint, which means his body didn't deteriorate. So his body is encased under the altar at this church that you can go into anytime and look at. I do think his body is deteriorating a little bit because they have his hand hidden with gloves and they have a mask on his face now. So he a little. But there's also a free museum. Let's go. Dead bodies. There we go. The Shrine and Church. The St. John Neumann Shrine. And this is the welcome center to the shrine. Yeah, they have this museum inside the shrine of St. John Neumann. It's really cool. It talks about the history of the Catholic Church in Philadelphia, John Neumann in Philadelphia, and they have so many of his own personal items on display here. But I've made a few videos in here. I usually come here for my mom. My mom's a big-time Catholic, so I come in here, and my Aunt Claire. This is the altar he first said Mass at. And if you see this, this is where he died at 49. And when he was died. He had a stroke, and he was walking around Philadelphia. Had a stroke on a stranger's step, and they carried him into the house, and that's where he died. But before you come into the museum, they have the actual step that he had the stroke on. I just noticed this. I come here a lot. Yeah, this is the step where John Neumann had a stroke. Okay, so Pope John Paul II came here to this church in 1979, and this is a chair he sat in, and a pillow he kneeled on. And if you're Catholic, that stuff, if anything a saint touches is a relic, and relics are a big deal. This is St. John Neumann's casket, so they had to dig him up to find out that his body wasn't deteriorating. So this is his coffin, which is also a relic. All right, I'm right off of South Street, and this is one of my favorite stores in the entire city of Philadelphia. This is called Philly's AIDS Thrift. It's a thrift store, hun. They always have a very entertaining chalkboard. Let me take part of this survey. No. There you go. Very important. Whenever I see photos in a thrift store, I often wonder, did the marriage fall apart? Did someone die? Why is this photo here? Uh-oh. Oh, boy. I used to have that poster in my bedroom as a child. I don't know what that says about me. This is another used bookstore. They only sell used books. They have used movies and music. 20th century artifacts. It's called Mostly Books. Let's go take a peek. Here we are, Mostly Books, with Dr. Martin Luther King. And this is a used bookstore not too far off of South Street on Bainbridge Street. Is this Bainbridge Street? Yeah. 559 Bainbridge? 529. This is 529 Bainbridge Street. And this is, the store is called Mostly Books because they have mostly books. More books than you could shake a stick at. Not just this room. But you can go back here. There's more books. You go back here. There's more books. There's even an upstairs full of more books. This is the top of the second floor. Books about design. Books about economics. Yeah, so this used to be a few different warehouses, I was told. And this bookstore's been here for 25 years. 2 stories of used books. And they're going to be opening a new store on Germantown and Lehigh Ave. So keep an eye out on that. Mostly Books. Good name. This place is interesting. I wish I didn't have ADHD because it's I own a lot of books, and I probably read the first chapter. I read the first chapter of more books than you did, but that's the only chapter I've ever read. I can't sit down and read. It's impossible for me. The Jim's Cheesesteak. I haven't done this since it reopened. This is Jim's Steaks. It caught on fire about 2 years ago. Jim Steaks used to be just this building, and then this used to be called the Eyes of something or another. It was like an art studio. So when the fire happened, these 2 buildings went up in flames, and then Jim's bought this property, and this actually used to be the house of Isaiah Zargar, the guy who did all these murals all around South Street, and used to be his wife's art gallery. So now Jim Stakes is bigger. But let me ask you this. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because you know what? It's 2024. And can we just, like, everybody just accept ATM cards, right? I'm not going here. I'm not going to go here because they don't take debit cards. And they're going to check. You could use their ATM. They'll take $3 off you to use the goddamn ATM. But they won't, they don't want to take, they want cash only. I don't know why. I don't know why some businesses only do cash only. This is one of my favorite streets to walk down. This is right behind, oh man, look at this door. This is right behind the concert venue called the TLA. And you got more of Isaiah's artwork here. This is the back door. If you ever go to a show at the TLA and you want to meet the musician, usually you could do it here. These tires and shit. Don't want to get too technical. But, ain't that cool? He uses outdoor plaster on his artwork. So after a while, his art starts falling down. And, so people have to patch up his stuff sometimes. Yeah, it's cool. We hung out here. Me and my dad, we met Southside Johnny. I hung out with Andrew WK. Ain't this pretty as a postcard? Don't forget, oh, look at this. Trees all going, ugh. And the pumpkins. Oh, the pumpkins are dying. Are they squirrels eating them or rats? We have a pretty big rodent problem in the south. I think it's squirrels. There's a squirrel up here. So people leave the pumpkins out. And after a while, they become food to either rats or squirrels. There's another pumpkin being eaten by a rodent. Is a squirrel a rodent? Wow. Questions I never think about. All right, so, all right, we did that. I don't know. I think I need to pray.